To our next speaker. He's the Executive Director of the Kankakee Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'd like to introduce to some, present to others, Mr. Larry Williams. Give him a round of applause.
Good morning. I just was listening to Pam, who I often visit her store. I'm a fourth-year cancer survivor, and the Kankakee Health Food Natural Store is my place to be as I battled, and I'm here today just because of her advice and advice of a lot of her staff members. They're very helpful. If you ever visit the store, they're very knowledgeable about the product, and they give you excellent service. So we're definitely happy to have you a part of our community, Pam. Today, I'd like to talk to you about, Pam mentioned some things about thinking positive and being positive is a part of being healing. Well, we promote tourism for the Kankakee County, and I'm a strong believer that the things you're surrounding in your environment is equally important to you as being healthy. And today I wanted to share with you some of the Kankakee County's new strategic plan and what we are doing and how we're moving forward to improve the community. I'd like to share a little bit of history. The Bureau was established in 1983. And before 1983, many of us thought of tourism as a vacation to Disney World or to some exotic island. But today, tourism is all about art and culture and beautification and making things look beautiful when people, and enjoyable when people travel to your destination. So one of the things in our strategic plan that we will be looking at is developing Kankakee as one of our specific areas. We have other communities that we're looking at, but the first community will be the Kankakee community. And what we would like to do is implement more art and cultural in the city. So the city has agreed to partner with the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau to develop an art and cultural district in the downtown area. And I think this district, and I'm going to push that the district be all-inclusive, meaning there is a lot of artists here and we have a very diverse community, so we need to see everyone be a part of that progress. But in order to do that, we need you to participate and be involved. We have a couple of organizations that are already in existence. That's the Community Arts Council. We have Feed Art downtown off of Schuyler Street next to our new Grapes and Hops venue. And those are areas that are really wanting us to be involved, and they're African Americans specifically. But we're not reaching out, we're not showing what we have, we're not sharing. And in order for our face to be present, we need to share our art. I'll share with you the history of art and culture for the African American community. In 1920s, the Harlem Renaissance was a great movement in New York, Harlem, New York, where African Americans could identify with being an artist, with being musicians, with being poets. Now, in my studies, I contrasted the Harlem Renaissance, and I also contrasted it with the Civil Rights Movement. And there are similarities, but there are differences as well. One of the similarities is that in Harlem, we found identity. In the South, civil rights was for rights, human rights. So I would like to reiterate that. The civil rights was a great movement, but before the civil rights, there were other great heroes. In the 1920s, you had Langston Hughes. You had Josephine Baker. All these artists were passions that brought people, made and created a healthy community. Harlem has a history. It's coming back. It died, now it's coming back because people are recognizing that this builds confidence and it creates a healthy community for the kids who are coming up. A lot of our children are lost because they are disconnected to history and culture. That is one of the most powerful things that can bring about healing, because I tell you, when I went through cancer was with a day when I had to lay down and slow down. I started really realizing all these things that I had to start embracing. And that was forgiveness. That was being involved with people who were less fortunate. Our organization did something really, I pushed this year to do something really different, and that is, I heard that Toys for Tots weren't taking that organization on this year. They didn't want to do it because it was too much of a hassle. So I said to my staff, what we have to do is go out and replace that by going out and getting with other nonprofits like HUG, like Choices, like other organizations, and start donating. Because I tell you, I did not want to wake up Christmas morning, or any kid to wake up without anything under the tree. So giving is a special thing for the holidays, but it's also a special thing throughout life because giving heals you. Embracing your community heals you. Beautification is something that we want to see. One of my real passion and one of my real concerns is East Kankakee. East Kankakee is almost like a desert. If you notice, there's no food. It's a food desert, definitely. There is nothing convenient. The kids don't have anything to do because we're not involved in the development. So as we develop the Art and Cultural District, we want you to be involved whenever I reach out to you and ask you to participate. Come to these programs like Still I Rise. One thing I want to mention about them, they are moving into 2016 with their new strategic plan. If you see them out there hosting an event and there is a price on that event, invest in it. Because when you invest in it, that's reinvesting in the community. Because they're doing things like educating young people to become entrepreneurs. They're doing things like embracing kids and showing them how to live healthy and how to get along and how to respect each other. So this is an important thing for our community. And there are other organizations. So this is being healthy to me. Because when these things are working for you, you're going to be wanting to live and be healthy so you can continue to make these things happen for your community. So that's what the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau is about. It's about other things too. We provide services. We are starting a backyard campaign. If any of you are planning a family reunion, a class reunion, or an event where people will be coming, wedding events, and they're coming to town, call our office. We can service you with some things. We can give service informational packets on things to do while they're here, places to eat, places to visit, like the museums, the attractions. We also can provide, if you're doing an event and you need book rooms, we can book your hotel rooms that'll help you book them and get a special rate. Because a lot of times we're not educated consumers. Whenever we are out looking for something, we go directly to the source. But sometimes there are ways to get around the source to begin the negotiating power. When I say that, I'll give you an example. You have 15 people coming to the area for your family reunion out of town. And you call the hotel and you say, I need a room. Oh, let's say they give you a rate of $89, $99. Okay, you going with that rate? Or you're going to use the Convention and Visitors Bureau for us to send out a lead asking all the hotels to bid for your business, and then you have the negotiating power. Because if that hotel you called said $89 and another hotel said $69, guess what? You can play with that rate and get what you want. And you might even get the higher quality hotel because they're all in competition with each other. And they all want to fill those hotel rooms. And I'll tell you another thing that you may not know, and that is our funding is generated from hotel tax. So every time a visitor comes to the area, we receive 5% of that tax revenue. But that's not for us to profit. We are not for profit. So what it does is reinvest back into the community. We pay our staff to work there. But we also reinvest in the community like the art district, develop projects. If you have something that you know will attract visitors to our area, come talk to me about it. I'd like to hear your idea, see what you're doing, and if it's something that's going to bring people to Kankakee and make create awareness, make people know that we are here, that we exist, then you come to us and we talk to you. We can give you some guidance. We'll be working with each municipality, Kankakee, Bradley, Bourbonnais, Manteno, and Momence. I'm working with each one of those mayors right now, and we are offering resources and funding to help develop art and culture. But again, it is important that we diversify, because I push diversifying the budget. And when you diversify the budget, that means you're inclusive of everyone who's living in your community. And that is you. So if you're a part of an art and cultural entity, and one of the events that I want you to think about visiting this summer is the Juneteenth event. You might have heard a little bit about that, and I won't keep you long, but the Juneteenth is where it all began. Do you understand? Do any of you know about Juneteenth? Could you just tell me a little bit? What's your take on it?
My mom does it now. My sister from Hopkins Park.
Exactly.
I was last year.
When we were freed as slaves, it started in Texas. There was messengers who left Texas and went throughout the country to let everyone know, even plantation owners know, that slavery was abolished. It no longer exists. And there are lots of cities celebrating that event, and we're the only one in the state of Illinois that's celebrating Juneteenth. We had a speaker come from Springfield, and they started one, and it never got started, but he came to visit ours, and he was so impressed. He says, and he does significant research on the Underground Railroad, which Illinois is so rich. I can't wait to present that as a tourism product for the state. Because we, starting from Cairo to the north of Illinois, there are significant locations and landmarks where the slaves stopped for rest as they went and traveled to Canada. So in those places are Peoria, Bloomington, Quincy, all of them have significant. Bloomington has a wonderful plantation house there built in the early 1800s with a room and a quilt that was designed to put up to the window so slaves knew when they came through that land that they could stop there and rest. Those are powerful things that create intellectual health. And when you are intellectual and you are self-empowered, I guarantee you, you'll feel good about life. And you'll see it as some positive things. Thank you. I'm leaving a few of my business cards, so if you want to contact us for anything, just let us know as far as services, hotels, and if you have any ideas. Okay? Thank you.
Mr. Larry Williams, stand up, give him a round of applause. 4 years here, Mr. Myers, we're doing great things in the community.